good, everybody? My name is Shine, and this is
Dope Fresh to Done.
And we are back with yet another episode of the Fresh Podcast. Today, we are very excited to talk about something we are very, very familiar with.
Very familiar with, man. And that's, that independent grind, that hustle. You see the signs behind me. Just that independent grind, We both know it well. Us both being independent artists and entrepreneurs as well, we want to talk about that.
Right, because we do know a lot about it.
Yeah.
The good, the bad.
And the ugly.
Good Lord. Somebody asked me, and they said, what do you do for a living? It was kind of somebody random, like, what do you do for a living? I said, I own a film production company. I said, I do, weddings and different events, commercials, looking to get into film, obviously podcasting. And he said, well, how do you like it? And I said, I love what I do. He said, it's probably nice to be able to set your own schedule, kind of like do your own thing. He's like, kind of have control. And I said, well, yeah. I said, but at the same time, I never feel like I stop working. I feel like I'm always hustling to get this or anything that I do on my own. Entrepreneur, independent artist. The work it takes to put into it is so exhausting.
Oh man, it's like triple the work just going to a 9 to 5. Because when you go to a 9 to 5, you have set hours. You know what you have to do. They tell you what your job obligation is. You go there, you do it, you done, you get a check. That's it. If you want to work overtime, sometimes it's optional. But when you work for yourself and you trying to build it from the ground up, you trying to get out there and get people to, trying to get business. It takes everything in you to. It's hard, and that's why they say a lot of businesses, first time business owners, it fails a lot of the times. I think I don't know what the percentage is, but I know it's high.
Yeah, it's not. Well, and I think a lot of people though, at least I know with me with some things, I gave up way too early, and there's things that I held on way too long, and the difference was trying to figure out. Was the money worth the time that I was spending? Because that's what I was trying to That's what I was trying to save and not sacrifice. Was my time, not just the money.
Yeah. I feel like, again, it's to the point where you put a lot of work in, and if it's not successful, it's hard. Betting on yourself. It's hard to do, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people have ideas. A lot of people are very talented, very creative.
Won't do it,
and they won't do it because they know that it's devastating if it doesn't work. But sometimes I guess when you bet on yourself, you kind of got to have that. It's this or nothing, all or nothing.
The fearing failure it devastates everything.
Yeah.
It's the doubt that you have for yourself. And shout out to everybody who has any hustle that they do out there on their own. People who are creating even time, opportunity, money, better finances for getting out and doing it. Because we don't live in a world where having one single job is so available. Like careers to me don't seem like careers anymore. It's a different time for entrepreneurs or even independent artists, right? Because when you and I started doing music, I think 2009, 2010, and I think it was about the same for you. This is not the way we did it.
Nah, everything changed. Everything changed again. Everything's so accessible. And when we did music, to keep it on music just for a little bit, it was the CD era still. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of like go
physical.
Through. Yeah, physical. And so music had its value. Right now, music doesn't really have value. And when I say that, yes, you have, big tours from already established artists, right? But I'm saying for an independent artist, if I put my hard-earned, my music out that I took my hard-earned money to create, and
time, investment, everything else.
You're putting it out basically for free, essentially. It's on YouTube, it's Spotify, Apple Music. That stuff costs $10 a month for the consumer, and they have access to everything. So, and like I know, you got to do a crazy amount of streams to even profit anything, to even be able to pay your bills for the month. You damn near got to, you got to do more than 1 million streams in a month.
It's like a third of a penny or something like that.
Crazy. So back then, I feel like that CD era, it benefited independent artists a little more.
Napster was the shit.
Yeah, Napster. it benefited independent artists, but Napster is really the reason why they brought in the streaming because they everybody was bootlegging. They was like, man, you know what? We gonna just make it digital, but we're gonna be the ones that benefit.
And it's crazy because Napster started that.
Yeah,
right. It was funny too because it was like a defense for the artist. The artist didn't really profit.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Well, you had Napster. You remember LimeWire.
Oh, good Lord. Everybody had a worm or a virus from LimeWire.
Kaza.
Kaza, yeah.
Yeah. It was a few of them that we benefited as fans because we loved the artists that we love. So a lot of us was bootlegging. Don't tell nobody. We was bootlegging
right.
their music.
Somebody else was doing it. We were listening.
But now that changed the game, and now it's digital. And me personally, I feel like, okay, if you're gonna transition to just digital music, that's fine. But the iTunes thing was better because then people still had to pay for it. It still had value.
Right.
So I'm buying your album still for $10, $15, whatever it is, and I have it digitally because like you said, technology changed. They stopped making cars with CD players, and there's really no devices that play CDs anymore, So I understand that, but when you put it on there and you give an artist, whatever it is, 0.7 cent a stream, artists can't make a living off of that.
No.
And then you got some people that, you still can get out there, tour, sell merch. Yeah, you can, but it still takes a lot to build that fan base up.
And I remember back when, 2009, 2010, we found multiple ways selling CDs. I mean, selling CDs for, $5. We would buy bracelets. We would buy posts, like all the different things we would to do. And now, because everything's in a digital area, I almost feel like people don't want. And it's weird for me. I used to remember opening like album covers and even the cassettes where it's real small. Mm-hmm. But the intimacy of knowing like how the album was created or the pictures or the song lyrics, like to me that was something that that always held value to me.
Facts.
But now it's like digital, my value stops when I don't pay my monthly subscription.
Yeah. Like you said, the thank yous. The artists would have their thank yous in the back of the booklet. It was just I don't know, something tangible to have. It lost its value because now everybody because everybody wasn't a rapper either back then.
True.
Everybody wasn't a musician because, like you said, you had to go out here and I make a CD and then I want to sell it for $5 or $10, post up outside of a gas station, a club, or wherever. A lot of times people would be like, well, can I hear something first? They put it in their car. And if it was trash, they wasn't going to pay you for it.
Can't do it now. You just got to buy it on hope.
It's not even bad. You just go on there and stream. You got a million people making songs. Hey, man, stream my new song, stream. And it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's just like a whole.
It's like you're hustling even harder for even less.
For less. Damn.
God.
That's the truth right there.
And it's sad too because you're taking away from the creatives that should be putting out music. I mean, because now it's just so unfiltered as far as if you have the internet, which I'm pretty sure just about everybody, except for maybe excessive countries or places they don't have it like internet available. Dude, everybody does music. Everybody does something digitally online, entrepreneur. So you have to do something different. And that's where adjusting, like with music, when you do it now, because by the way, Dope Fresh has a brand new beat site. If you'd like to, super dope. By the way, I was listening to some of the bangers. Where would we check that out?
Foreverfresh.com.
Foreverfresh is at 4.
The number 4. Yep. Ever Fresh. Fresh, of course, spelled like the way we spell fresh around here with the PH.
Right. Like we didn't know that, right?
.com. Get your beats. If you are an artist, man, we got all type of different bangers. So definitely get your beats on foreverfresh.com. And I would say I guess the ups and downs of being an independent artist. Like, let's talk about that. When you first became an artist and you put out your music for the public, what was your expectations? Like, did you ever have dreams of being signed to a major label, being a superstar rapper? Like, what was your expectations originally?
That's a deep question. I'll try to be short with it. No, I got into music initially because of a friend that I met, who I'm still really good friends with, haven't talked to in a while, but got me into, he was making music, and I was really obsessed with beat making. And everybody had Fruity Loops at one point, and I remember getting into it and ended up making a song and wanted somebody else to rap on it. So I kind of like wrote and recorded a sample on a really crappy PC, like back in the day on a desktop, the little white microphones you used to get that you used to do like your live calls on.
Yeah.
And recorded a sample for somebody else to do. And that's where my first song ever started. So I had no thoughts of being an artist. I wanted to be a beat maker because I could do it behind the scenes. Just somebody who's known for making dope music, but is not necessarily a face of anything.
Got you. So that makes sense too about the mask too. So when you did actually step into the forefront and became,
It's like, what am I gonna?
yeah. So you never really wanted to like that spotlight or that notoriety like that too much.
I never thought I would be a rapper, let alone wanted to be one.
So let me ask you this. So, okay, that was your expectations initially, but then when you put out music and you start performing locally and you seen certain people take a liking to your music, did your expectations change then? Did you say, maybe I got something here and maybe I could be, you know?
I did, or I thought everybody I knew was lying to me. Even the people that didn't know me were still lying to me, and I was trying to figure out why. Yeah, I was like, why does everybody keep saying it's really good?
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't record it that way. But the expectations did change. I started doing shows and meeting people and making connections, and, you know, which led me into, like, you and I've talked about, a really kind of a wild story for some country boy who grew up in a real small town in Indiana, in a school with probably less than 700 or 800 kids, kindergarten through 12. Like the older kids knew the younger kids, and it was just different, right? But what I got to experience was phenomenal, and it was really based on not much of a music catalog. I mean, you have catalogs of music. I had like 2 or 3 songs that I put out.
Yeah.
You know, and then kind of variously made a couple other things. But the expectations I just had is I wanted to figure out how to make money from it, but I never thought that far ahead where I had planned on something. I just knew that if I wanted to continue having this much fun, I was going to have to find a way to make some money.
So, and then when did you come to the point of, you know what, this ain't really it for me? Like I did, was it a more so you felt accomplished that you did with what you did? What you said wasn't a whole lot, as far as, you know, you don't have a whole lot of songs, but did you feel like, did you want to keep going and make that big catalog like somebody like myself that has, you know, a lot of albums and songs and stuff like that? Or was you like just at a point where you were like, man, you know what? I'm good on this. I had my run. I did shows. People know me for, you know, what I've done. And like, when did you come to the conclusion that it's time to move on to something else?
This is going to hit when my mom passed.
Yeah.
All the passion that I had for making music, whether I was going to make money or not, it stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents were both very involved in music. I was really close to my mom, and I actually made a song for her before her passing, like days before, because Mother's Day was coming up, and they had done like an induced coma, so they could do some whatever examining, and yeah, when she come out, she couldn't hear. And when I took the song and played it for her on my phone, she said she couldn't hear it. So believe it or not, it was at that moment that I no longer had a passion to do music in any sort of way. It's starting to come back now, but it just felt like a piece of that just died when she died.
Man.
Yeah.
That's definitely understandable, man, from the circumstances. Like, yeah, I could see where that just killed your whole drive. Something that tragic happened, you know.
Yeah. We all deal with it, and we all deal with different things that kill it, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's, death, relationships, marriages, all these things really take effect, which makes it 10 times harder to get out and hustle and grind and do your own thing. So again, shout out to everybody, man, who is doing anything, getting out here and getting the money, man, right? Because at this point, if you're going to do it for a good reason. And my biggest reason is freedom of time.
Yeah. And like you said, shout out to anybody doing it. And like, as an independent artist, like you said, people just look at, if you're talented, a lot of people just think, oh man, you should be signed. You should be on. You should be popping.
I know a bunch of people that should have been signed.
And it don't work like that.
No.
At all. It's more so a money. I seen Young Dolph, you know what I'm saying, in one of his old interviews, he was saying that it cost maybe like, I want to say he said 120,000 on the low end to break a song. Not an album, not a whole.
Not an artist.
Just, one song. If you independent, that's the type of money it takes. So it's like a lot of independent artists, I see them all the time, like, man, this new song I'm working on, man, this is a hit, I swear. And it could be. It could be, it should be, and it would be, but it's not gonna be if you don't have the finances to push that song. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, the game is kind of somewhat rigged to a certain degree.
The only reason that I laughed is because I remember being told that and thinking, nah, man, like, you just need a really good song for somebody to hear it. And they said, even if they hear it, he said they had to be willing to put money behind it. And I'm like, I mean, okay, yeah, no. If you say okay, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where these big corporations and labels come into play. That's why they're the ones, because that's why they call it the machine. They can push you. You only can do but so much. Shout out some of the greatest independent artists to come out. There's the dude out there, man, in the Bay Area named La Russell. He's killing it right now, independent, 100% independent. Russ, I don't know if he's still independent. I know he was at one point, and these dudes have did some crazy things independent.
I think Tom McDonald, like,
Yeah,
you know, I know
yeah.
you and I had spoke like on him. He's a big independent, like him and his family do it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And you could be a fan or not a fan, but man, shout out to those who like, because you have to really push.
We got to shout out the king of independent, Tech Nine. You know what I'm saying? Strange
goodness.
music, everything he accomplished. You know, I don't know if maybe he did sign major, but I know for the longest it was independent, and he did. You know, he broke records.
He put his position from an independent side, from starting independently. Yeah, because I remember when they came here to Louisville, I actually had a chance to open up, and I didn't get to meet Tech Nine, but man, that would have been super dope. But I remember walking on stage, and before he actually went on, dude, his fans were like off the hook. Like,
oh man,
they were lit.
He got a cult following, bro, like real deal cult following.
No promises, but if I can find the video, I have the video of me walking out on stage and them doing. Here I am in the mask, but they start doing a Tech Nine chant while I'm on stage, and I'm like, bro, now I know what it feels like to kind of be like Tech Nine, not with the talent or anything else, but yeah, super dope. Hobson. Snow the Product.
Snow the Product, yep. Shout
Joker.
Yep.
Dude,
it's a lot of them, like you said, man. Even shout out some of the independent artists from around this way, man. Chucky Work Clothes, you know, that's my dog, man. He put in a lot of work. I've seen him push it, you know what I'm saying?
Hustling, hard for a while.
Yeah, man. So it's at the end of the day, but I do feel like, you know, and those who's in the position and in the business, they know what I'm talking about. It's the game is kind of rigged, you know, and it is what it is. So when you realize that, you have to adapt, and sometimes you have
change with the times.
You got to change it up. So that for me, like, I'ma always do music. Music's where the heart is, but I realized a long time ago, you know what I'm saying, before a lot of my peers, I realized that, you know, at the end of the day, that being a big superstar, you know, everywhere, a pop star, I'm like, man, that's probably not gonna happen, you know. Just because of the type of music that I make, and then for two, again, I don't have the funds to push it that big, you know.
But like, just doing it, right? Doing anything. I know people probably heard me say that, and I only say it because it's really worked for me. And it's just doing it. Starting this podcast, starting a video production company, starting a t-shirt company, a beat store. You have everything available to you. And it's not the fact that, you know, that you don't have resources. I can get on YouTube right now and learn something I've never done and try to figure out how to make money out of it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's getting out and just finding something. If you want to do a podcast, don't go in it like expecting money, or don't go doing something. When I started my video production company, I went one entire year, and I think I only made a couple $100, but I spent like $1,800, and you know, bought cameras and computers and everything else. And I remember going, bro, this is not it. damn. Like,
It's anything you do that's worth it is gonna be an investment behind it. You can't just, I mean, yeah, you have the rare occasions of somebody, you know, you might put out a song on TikTok or do something where it just blows up, but that's like, I mean, that's literally like hitting the lottery. Like, you're gonna have to put some time, a lot of time, and you're gonna have to put some money. You got to put it in it, you know, for it, and it still might not ever do nothing. That we be all the way honest with you, it still might not ever do nothing. But that's the risk that you have to be willing to take when you want to be independent. Right. Everybody throws that term around. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm independent. You know what I'm saying?
How much money do you make? None.
Yeah. Then it gets quiet. You start hearing crickets. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so boastful to say, I own my own business.
But what are you doing to fix it? That's my question.
Yeah.
If somebody says I don't make any money, I want to know why. Because if somebody asks me why I don't make any money, I can tell them why.
Exactly.
I don't get out and I don't market like I should. I don't do this. I don't do that. I can tell somebody why I'm failing. But if people just say I'm an entrepreneur or independent, oh, cool, man. Like, how much money you do make? The minute that conversation comes up and people don't have some kind of numbers we've discussed, and if somebody don't have those numbers, then I don't know, man. I don't think you're independent. You're somebody who wants to be independent or wants to be an entrepreneur. But you either got to be losing money or making money. Just sitting in the middle is just that I'm just waiting for something to happen. Nobody's going to.
Yeah, it tells me you're not working hard enough, or you're not risking enough.
I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you got to. It's all in. Like, of course, be strategic. You know, be calculated in your risk, but you got to take risk.
But know whether you're going forward or stopping.
Yeah.
You know, or like, what are you going to do? And that was something that you and I spoke a lot on. And it's either doing it or not doing it, investing or not investing. You know, going in, investing and then pulling back out, it doesn't make any sense. You're losing money. Either go in
and
or
wasting
don't.
time, losing money and wasting time.
And you don't get that back.
That's it.